I see that Bud is gonna Bud's gonna do good. He's gonna do good, but I don't think he's gonna win. But I do see Bud like getting a lot of punches off, being able to tag Canelo with some good shots, but they have no effect. That's the thing.
Music. Ryan Garcia stirred the pot when he broke down the upcoming mega clash between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. I see that Bud's going to do good. He's going to do good, but I don't think he's going to win. But I do see Bud like getting a lot of punches off, being able to tag Canelo with some shots, but they have no effect. That's the thing. Crawford stepping up 2 full divisions to challenge Canelo for the undisputed super middleweight crown is daring to chase history. But the voices of the boxing world are split. Each analyst and fighter bringing their own perspective to how the night could unfold. Garcia, speaking confidently, made it clear that Crawford's skills are undeniable. He acknowledged that Crawford is versatile, capable of boxing on the back foot, pressing forward, or shifting gears when needed. But having seen Canelo spar in person, Garcia doesn't believe Crawford has the power to cause any real damage. In his view, Canelo will take the shots, walk forward, and gradually impose his physicality. Even if Crawford racks up points early, Garcia feels the fight will turn into Canelo's kind of battle. One where size, resilience, and ring control take over.
He has the best chin that I've ever
Bro,
seen.
and nothing moves his head.
Yeah, I've never.
So
I seen one time Triple G hit him and he kind of like, and then he's right back on it.
Bro, that's the thing. Like, I know he's gonna be able to hit Canelo because I've seen Canelo in sparring where he like, not that he's getting hit. Well, he is getting hit, but it's so ineffective that what he's doing is just he imposing himself too well, and I see that happening.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, Crawford is a great fighter. I think he's one of the best. I just think that he's biting a little bit more than he could chew. But you never know. If anybody can do it, it could be Crawford. You know, I do see him like when he fights. I'm like, damn, how do you beat this guy? You know, he could do it all. He could box. He could bang. He could, you know, step on the gas when he needs to. He could, you know, he could do everything. The only thing I see is sometimes he gets cracked with some crazy ass shots. But other than that, I mean, he's really one of the most complete fighters I've seen.
He has the best chin that I've ever seen. He moves his head. Yeah, I've never seen one time Triple G hit him and he kind of like and then he's right back on it. Bro, that's the thing, like I know he's going to be able to hit Canelo cause I've seen Canelo in sparring where he like not that he's getting hit. Well, he is getting hit, but it's so ineffective that what he's doing is just he imposing himself too well. And I see that happening. Like, don't get me wrong, Crawford is a great fighter. I think he's one of the best. I just think that he's biting a little bit more than he could chew. But you never know if anybody can do it. Could be Crawford. You know, I do see him like when he fights on me, damn, how do you beat this guy? You know, he could do it all. He could box, he bang, he could, you know, step on the gas when he needs to. He could, you know, he could do everything. The only thing I see is sometimes he gets cracked with some crazy-ass shots, but other than that, I mean, he's really one of the most complete fighters I've seen. Brian Bomac McIntyre, Crawford's lead trainer, isn't fazed by the supposed gap in power. For McIntyre, Canelo's strength may show early, but he insists it won't last. His belief is that Canelo has a tendency to slow down midway through fights, often between the 6th and 7th rounds. That drop in energy, in his mind, will be Crawford's opening to take over. He's confident that when the pace shifts in the second half of the contest, Crawford will capitalize, pushing a tempo that Canelo won't be able to match. Do you have a prediction on the fight for Canelo Alvarez? We're going to beat this mother. It ain't no cake. We going to beat this. So, I promise you that. And what's your message to the naysayers that Terence is too small? Watch and see. I ain't steered you wrong yet. And I ain't in a business to start now. That I tried to tell them about Spence, but they didn't want to listen. Oh, Bo no, he's talking about this day. All right. McIntyre is also brushing off Canelo's sparring choices. News recently surfaced that Canelo has been working with Jiren Boots and a dangerous and undefeated welterweight who has drawn comparisons to Crawford for his style and skill. Many in the sport see that as a major advantage for Canelo's preparation. Yet, McIntyre dismisses it, saying that no sparring partner can replicate the mentality, sharpness, and unique rhythm that Crawford brings to the ring. To him, it doesn't matter who Canelo trains with. When fight night comes, none of that will save him. I know you saw him spawn with Boots. Give me your initial, responses. That don't mean, A__A, man. That don't mean, A__A, that don't mean nothing, man. Boots ain't no Crawford. That's right. So, hey, like I said, that don't mean all, that don't mean nothing. That, A__A, ain't going to help him. He should have just got the last cab driver he just fought, because that, A__A, ain't going, that don't mean nothing, man. All that don't mean nothing. You ain't no Bug Crawford. They don't have that mentality. Having that mentality and going upside your head at the same time, A__A, man. I don't give A__A, about all that, A__A, at all. However, Canelo's camp sees things differently. Bringing in Andis is no small move. Andis at 34-0 with 30 knockouts is widely considered one of the brightest future stars in American boxing. His speed, unpredictability, and offensive variety mirror many of the things Crawford does so well. Former champion Sean Porter, who knows Crawford firsthand after sharing the ring with him, admitted that this sparring strategy raises concerns. For Porter, a few sessions with a fighter as gifted as Ennis could give Canelo the exact kind of preparation needed to anticipate Crawford's weapons. Seeing someone even close to Crawford's style in camp could make a massive difference when the lights come on in Las Vegas. Get in the ring with Canelo Alvarez. Terence is not going to see anything that he hasn't seen before. No, he hasn't seen this beast on fight night, but he's seen version of this beast for a very, very, very long time. People have said that he's a blown-up 147-pound fighter. If you remember, he said it was hard for him to make 147 when he fought Errol Spence Jr. I was like, yo, how is that possible? I didn't realize like he was really doing everything that's needed to gain the weight properly. Most fighters don't know how to gain weight and fit into a weight class properly. He's done that. Away from the camps, boxing analysts and former fighters have been lining up with their takes. Max Kellerman, the veteran broadcaster known for his sharp boxing mind, surprised many by leaning toward Crawford. Kellerman's reasoning rests on the idea that while Canelo is still elite, he's not the same fighter he once was. Years of wear and tear, a career that started in his teens, and visible signs of slowing down make Kellerman believe Crawford has the edge. To him, the American has consistently proved he can move up divisions and dominate, citing his destruction of Errol Spence and previous performances as evidence. Despite Canelo's size advantage, Kellerman is convinced Crawford's craft and timing will shine through. They both have sky-high ring IQs. If I have to Crawford, if you ask me again, like there's a reason that I think Crawford is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, right? Because I think and Canelo once was. So even though Crawford is biologically older, Canelo has had the longer career. He's been fighting since he's a teenager. And there's been signs recently that maybe he's not the same guy that he used to be. By the way, I know people think Inua and Usyk are ahead of C. The Ring has them rated ahead of Crawford. I don't because to me pound for pound is not a fairness issue. It's an issue of just who do you think is better. And the last time I saw Crawford he moved up yet another division beat at the time the guy I thought was the best fighter in the division. Turns out he wasn't, but I thought he was at the time. And before that had just annihilated Errol Spence. So if you look at all the boxes, I'm going to check Crawford for most of them, if not all of them. But the reason Canelo is favored is because Canelo does a lot of things at a very high level. And he's a naturally bigger guy. Not everyone sees it that way. David Benvts, a man who has spent years chasing his own shot at Canelo, reluctantly admitted that Canelo's size may be too much for Crawford. For Benvts, it isn't about skills, but physics. Canelo is a natural super middleweight and Crawford is stepping into that division for the very first time. Benvts didn't say it with joy, especially given his frustrations about not securing a fight with Canelo himself, but his assessment was that Canelo's experience and physicality would prevail against a smaller challenger. Now, Canelo Crawford, who you got another one? I think Canelo is going to win only because of the size, you know what I mean? And Crawford is coming up 3 weight classes. So I think Canelo is more of a natural super middleweight. This is Crawford's first super middleweight fight. So I got to go. I'm not going for Canelo. I'm just picking him. You think he's going to win? I think he's going to win. I've been in your last 5, 6 fights. You're a monster. You're a beast. You versus Canelo. What's that fight look like? Are you knocking him out or I beat the A__A out of him? I can't say I will knock him out because, you know what I mean? He's a great fighter. He's never been knocked out, but I could definitely say that I'd put a beating on him. I'd put hands on him worse than anybody's that ever put hands on. And he's a legend. He's a legend. But I feel like I'm in my own way. I'm a legend. You know what I mean? That's why I'm calling all the great fighters and I'm showing it. I'm showing why I want to be a legend. So, at the end of the day, I ain't scared of nobody. I'll fight anybody whenever, whoever. Do you feel like you got whoever, whenever? Do you feel like you got to play nice with Canelo? Like, if you're talking, A__A, in the media, he's not going to fight you, or what do you feel like honestly? Give me your honest, like, is it a money thing, or to be honest with you bro, I just feel like he don't, it's not of a money thing. I feel like once I beat him all his fame goes to me, all his people go to me, so it's like a passing of the torch, and I just don't think